Now, speaking of presidents, another entrant in the race for the next one. Moving on, big news that Nikki Haley, former South Carolina governor and UN ambassador, has officially thrown her hat in the ring. Have a look at this.
I am running for president of the United States of America.
Annelise, Nielsen, you were there at the rally, I believe. Tell us what the mood was like. Were the punters enthusiastic? And most of all, what did she have to say?
Well, the atmosphere was quite good, really. I think especially this far out, she had a pretty impressive turnout for a Wednesday morning. People have to get there early for these things. And we were going around South Carolina, around Charleston the day before, asking people on the street. And a lot of people really like her. Does that mean she can go the distance? Who really knows? I know everyone loves to say that they always picked the next president of the United States. This is such uncharted territory at the moment. Who really knows, for the Republican side especially. But what really seems to have stuck from this launch speech was her comments, not just around how America's still in its prime, even if our leaders aren't, which was quite clever, but also her introducing this idea that there should be a competency test for anyone over the age of 75. That got a huge reaction in the room. It's hit a nerve. People do want the next generation to step up. And so she's been quite clever in that.
Yeah, I think that generational issue is quite big, and we'll talk with Mick Mulvaney a bit later in the program about that. But Kelly Jane Torrance, you're a New Yorker. Annelise said there's a lot of enthusiasm for in South Carolina, but could you see a Nikki Haley picking up votes for the GOP in New York?
Well, that's a good question, James. And of course, she's younger. She's a bit more to the center on a lot of things, especially when compared with, as you're showing, former President Donald Trump. But, I have to say, despite the fact that, America does have that history of racism, I wasn't at all surprised that America had a Black president before a female one. And we are already seeing some pretty misogynist comments, I think, coming out. CNN host Don Lemon, who's a New Yorker, he used the comment that Haley said that these old politicians were past their prime. We need a new generation. He said on his show repeatedly that she, as a woman, is past her prime because women
Kelly
are in
Jane,
their prime in their 20s, 30s.
Let's have a look. We've got that clip here. I want to play this clip here and get your guys' reaction to this. Have a look at this.
Politicians or something are not in their prime. Nikki Haley isn't in her prime. Sorry. When a woman is considered to be in her prime in her 20s and 30s and maybe 40s.
What are you talking? Wait.
That's not according to me.
Prime for what?
It depends. I mean, it's just like prime. If you look it up, if you Google when is a woman in her prime, it'll say 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Now, Kelly, that was absolutely outrageous. Annelise, what reaction is that getting in America?
Oh, I mean, he's getting absolutely piled on. I think Don Lemon needs to Google misogynist, and then he needs to Google some other four-letter words I'm thinking of, because that is just pure, unadulterated judgment of women, and it's disgusting. Why is anyone allowed to put that platform forward at the moment? He knows what she was talking about, the completely obvious issues that we're seeing with the advanced age of the American political elite, and that kind of backtalk and talking down to women. I think he's probably done her a big favor in drawing out some of the issues that she's going to face, and women are going to want to back her up because it was disgusting.
And Kelly Jane Torrance, I mean, you're a conservative woman with a byline and a profile. This is something that women on the right just have to face everywhere, isn't it? This sort of misogyny from the left that wants them to pipe down and shut up, isn't it?
It's really something, James, and you're right. I've experienced it for years. Pretty much every woman who has a successful career on the right has seen this sexist behavior and attacks from liberals. Something bothers them about the fact that there are successful, strong, conservative women. They don't think we're proper women if we don't subscribe to all of their viewpoints. And honestly, I find that it's trying to turn us into children, that we cannot make decisions for ourselves, that we don't have our own ideas. They do it, of course, to minorities, racial minorities as well. If they don't agree with what the liberal orthodoxy is, they're somehow a traitor to their race. It's absolutely disgusting. And, I kudos to Nikki Haley for throwing her hat in the ring, despite knowing, I'm sure, that she was going to face attacks like this. Although I think we all are a little extra surprised by just how bad Don Lemon is, although this is a guy who's made it clear, I think, for years that he has a problem with women. And certainly he's made it clear as he's suddenly had to have female co-hosts after getting demoted at CNN.